Good evening, everybody. It is 5:30, and welcome to the August 14th meeting for the Glendale Elementary School District Governing Board. We do have a full agenda this evening, so we are going to be moving right along. Ms. Agata-Jones, are there any changes to the agenda this evening?
Good evening, President Martinez, members of the board. No, there are not.
Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
Move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Please join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Moving on to our special recognitions, Ms. Agata-Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, we're very excited. We have several recognitions tonight that we'd like to go ahead and step down and do those recognitions right now. Oh, you can bring this in. Okay, and then T-shirts I'll get. Those are going to be later, but that's all right. Yeah, that's fine. And that's yours, because we have theirs. And then how many teachers? 3? Yeah. 3. And read these. All right. Got it? Yeah, we got them. All right, thank you. The first recognition we'd like to do tonight is to Harold W. Smith for earning the Arizona Positive Behavioral Interventions Supports Coalition's 24-25 Level 4, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and Fidelity Awards. Smith. We don't have the real plaque yet. They tell us they're doing it, but when the real plaque comes in, we'll do a big to-do at the site as well. Okay, so congratulations to Smith School. We couldn't be more proud of you and your staff, so thank you so much. Okay. You want to just do that? All right. Congratulations to your staff, your students, and families. And our next certificate is for the same award, the Arizona Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, and that goes to Desert Spirit School. Desert Spirit. I know Principal Carrillo is en route, so, but we want to present this to Desert Spirit School, and thank you to your students, your staff, and families, and I'm going to scoot down. Need my list. Where's my list? Okay, we're going to move on to our next awards. As soon as I flip to the right page. We're very, very excited about the awards here that we're receiving tonight. And we're going to, let's see if this is going to work this way. There we go. So we've already announced these through our weekly, but we always want to make a public recognition to our staff that have been recognized in our sites. So what I want to recognize first is how the Glendale Star does their awards. They'll do a reader recommended, and then they'll do whether you were the best in that category or not. So some of the awards that we received were reader recommended as the best place to work, Glendale Elementary School District. So congratulations to every staff member. Also, we were also recognized, and let me read the rest of them. Let's start with the first one, school categories. So the best public school, and remember, this isn't just in the district. This is Glendale, Arizona, okay? So the best public school in Glendale, Arizona, first place goes to Horizon. So Horizon. And so Horizon, we have for you, one of our little fans, success. You can come up and catch that. And when we get our plaques, we'll come out to your staffs and we'll do a big celebration then to the Star send us plaques and that. So congratulations to Horizon School. Second place, best public school in Glendale is Discovery. Here we go. Thank you so much. We appreciate Discovery. Congratulations to them. And then the third best public school is Glendale American. So Glendale American, we appreciate you. Just stay right here. Yeah. And then best elementary school is a category. First place, Glendale American. Congratulations. Then best elementary, second place goes to Horizon. Oh, you're already, come up here and just stand and wave. How's that? So congratulations again to Horizon. And third place, best elementary school goes to Discovery. So thank you. All right. And then also the best preschool is Desert Garden Preschool. Where's Desert Garden? Woo-hoo! Congratulations to Desert Garden. And we will come out to all the sites when we get the official plaques and do all your staff pictures and things. So thank you to Desert Garden. Then we have the best mascot. And the best mascot in Glendale, Arizona is first place is Glendale American Eagle. There you go, Eagle. Thank you so much for being I love the costume. Great. Good job. You can move your head if it's hot in there. Mm-hmm. And then the second place best mascot goes to the Horizon Panther. So our Panther. So Horizon, congratulations, Panther. You look amazing. And I'm going to give to our mascots real quick because I know you probably want to take your heads off pretty quick. Here's a cookie for you. Here. Well, our eagle's having problems. There you go. Got it, Eagle? All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Our next awards go to, we have the best teacher. So remember, this is Glendale, Arizona, and it's first goes to Mr. Jewell from Discovery. Please come up. Come on up. Okay. So, Mr. Dole, thank you. I know you've been in Glendale for quite some time. We appreciate your commitment. This is a copy for you of the Glendale Star. This is a cookie for you. I think you have two little ones, don't you? No, two little ones get cookies. And we got to give Mama a cookie. And we have something for you right here. Well, let's take a photo first. All right. And we have something for you right here.
Nothing, maybe.
I'd like to buy a A.
Hey, babe,
How about a B? All right. Is it coming up? There we go.
Hey, babe, congratulations on being the best teacher in Glendale. We're sorry we couldn't be there, but we're so proud of you and we love you. Say it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything you do. You're a remarkable teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, second best teacher in Glendale, second place. Damaris, are you here? There you are. So proud of you. Did you get one? You get one of those. You get a cookie. How's that? You get two cookies. How's that? Thank you so much for everything that you do. We appreciate you. Thank you. Third place teacher in Glendale. Oh, we forgot to give you your newspaper. Sorry. Your copy. Hard copies are hard to come by. So, and our third place goes to Veronica Zickman from Discovery. So proud of you.
Thank you.
And we have cookies for you. Thank you so much.
so much.
We appreciate you. And thank you again to all the staff for making this such an incredible organization to be a part of. And so we so appreciate your commitment to the students and the community in this district. We do have one more recognition through the Glendale Star, and that is that Glendale Elementary School District was voted the #1 school district in Glendale 6 years in a row. So congratulations to you. You're going to throw these
We just throw them.
in a minute. Yeah, you're going to throw them. Huh?
Apologize in advance.
Yeah. So we wanted, you know, because it's always, I mean, there was no doubt in my mind we were going to be voted 6 years in a row, only because I knew a week in advance. That's why I was so brave in saying that. But truly is such a wonderful place to be, and it's because of all of our staff members and our students and our families. And so we will continue to always provide for all kids and for our staff. We had a couple T-shirts made up. You can see we did the success on there, so proud of the success. And we have a couple T-shirts, and so if you'll get your hands up so it doesn't hit you upside the head, we'll be okay. Ready? That one hit. I'm going to stick out a light. No. Okay, where are we at? Where's my agenda? Okay, we're at Desert School Call to Public. Okay, we're at So there's really, she was given handouts, I don't know why, but 1, 2, that's the same person, and then these 3. Okay, so that's one person, and these are separate. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, mascots. We appreciate it. I know it has to be extremely warm in there. Thank you. Thank you.
And you want your point of privilege?
No, I'm doing it
You wait
after.
after. Okay, moving on in our agenda. Thank you again, everybody, for celebrating with us. Thank you to our great mascots and our Seeing Eye staff members, because the mascots cannot see. Moving on, we have several calls to the public at this time, so please bear with me. The public is invited to address the board on any issue within its jurisdiction, subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. Governing board members are not permitted to discuss or take legal action on matters raised during open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. However, the law permits board members to do the following at the conclusion of an open call to the public. A, respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the board. B, ask a staff to review the matter. Or C, ask that the matter be put on a future agenda. Those wishing to address the board should complete a call to the public form and submit it to the board secretary prior to the start of the meeting. Each speaker will be provided 3 minutes to address the board unless provided other direction by the board. At the outset of the speaker's remark, the speaker should state his or her name. The board recognizes Jessica Peck. And you did submit, we have 2 forms for you, but you only have the 3 minutes. Oh, okay.
No.
There isn't a later, there's only one call to the public.
I know that there's one that says it's for the facility use rental form and that was listed, so it's a separate.
It doesn't matter if it, yeah, Jessica, how it works with the call to public, you get the 3 minutes and you can speak to any item during that 3 time. Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Sagata Jones and school board members. I'm Jessica Peck, representing the hundreds of members of Glendale Education Association as their elected president. According to the H policy, we are recognized by the board as the representative voice for certified and classified employees. As such, we have regular conversations with district leadership and site leadership about employee concerns. We truly appreciate those opportunities and value the many conversations that we've had. However, in order to be truly representative, we need to be able to meet with staff freely, have regular ongoing communication with them, and hear their feedback in person in a variety of ways. However, many of our outreach efforts of ours have not worked out, and our requests to open up more communication with staff members have been denied. For example, for years we've asked to do a centralized event during new staff orientation, like many of our other districts around us do, yet we have been denied. We have asked to set up a table at the Welcome Back event, and that was denied. We have asked to be at the Wellness Fair, and we were denied because we are a membership organization. However, there were many other membership organizations there recruiting people to pay for services and products. We've been told that we can't present to staff on contract time, but outside organizations like GCU and financial consultants are allowed to do so. Additionally, membership is open to classified employees, but our outreach is extremely limited because we've been told that we can't speak to them on their contract hours, which is really the only time that they are usually present for. Additionally, on the board tonight, there is a proposal about the facility use rental form, and our name has been deleted from the Class 1 organization list, which is the area where there would not be a fee. We believe that we are focused and all in for all students. That's our number one stated goal this year that the leadership team voted on. And our number one goal is to continue the staffing and support and enrichment for our students. And all other goals that we have are in support of that. I am here for my kids. I am here for my students. That is why we do what we do, and that's why we stay here in GEST. We are recognized by the board as the representatives for employees according to our age policy. In order to truly fulfill this, we feel that we need to be able to visit sites freely and have conversations with staff members without worrying that there will be potential repercussions. We can't truly represent the staff if our communication avenues are significantly hampered and our interactions are limited. I am asking you to vote no on the proposal as it is written tonight, in the hopes that there can be transparent discussion and a revision that makes it clear that we have a right to meet for free on campus. We would like clarity over the different types of events and the different things that would necessitate different fees. Ultimately, we are here to have a collaborative relationship with the district so that our staff and students can have the best experience possible. We are site leads, teachers of the year, induction coaches, tech mentors, team leads, PLC leads, ELD leads. We spend countless hours in service of this district and its families.
All right.
Our hundreds of members
Thank you.
are here. Thank you.
The board recognizes Robert Gell.
Good evening, Superintendent Sagata Jones, Mr. President, board members. My name is Robert Gale. I'm a 7th grade teacher at Glendale American. I've been there for 5 years. I've been teaching in the district for 7 years now. But I've been a member of the family since 2009 when I walked my son Henry through the gates of Landmark to Mr. Michelli, his high school, his kindergarten teacher. So I've been a part of the district for a very long time. Gina Schmitz taught me into working here because I saw how awesome it was. It really is the best place to work. I was so pleased with what you guys did for my 2 kids that I just had to sign up. My son's going to ASU, nursing, my daughter's at AP class at Glendale High School, and that's what we did. That's what this school district did. So that's me. I live in the district. I work here. I vote. I pay taxes. I play here. I ride my little e-bike around every morning downtown. I'm also part of GEA. I'm the site leader and I'm the elected secretary. GEA has been serving and representing GESD employees for more than 75 years. Like any organization nowadays, GEA has a motto and a mission and goals. Our first published goal, our number 1 goal, is maintaining support, staffing, and enrichment for GESD students. That is our priority. We do this by advocating for increased mosaic funds for students, class sizes for students, stipends, compensation, and a shared sense of community for the students. It's all for the kids. I joined GEA because it was about my kids, and it's about our kids. I'm a part of the GESD family, but I'm also GEA, because GEA supports staff, and teachers, and kids, and we all need all the help we can get. I'm asking you to reconsider the recommended change to the facility use agreement. Removing GEA from the agreement suggests that GEA is not a student-centered and student-focused organization. The only purpose of changing it, as far as I can tell, is to attempt to identify GEA, an organization with hundreds of members, your employees, serving your students, as some random organization. We're not. We're your family. We live here. We work here. We have kids, and we'd like you to reconsider. Thank you.
Thank you. The board recognizes Teresa Womack.
Good morning. I'm reading a statement from Senator Adams for tonight. Dear Superintendent Sagata Jones and honorable members of the board, in serving our community of Legislative District 24, we share the common goal of wanting the best for GESD educators, students,
All right, thank you. The board recognizes Amber Johnson.
Amber, I'm sorry. It's hard to hear you. Is it on, Tom? It's hard to hear up here.
Hello.
Thank you, Amber.
Okay. Good evening, Superintendent Segota Jones and members of the school board. My name is Amber Johnson, and I'm proud to represent the hundreds of members of the Glendale Education Association serving as your elected vice president. On behalf of Glendale Education Association, I stand here with gratitude and a spark of hope. Our association exists with a vital purpose: to better working conditions for staff members, to strengthen the bond between our district and our community, and to uplift the quality of education our student receives. These aren't lofty ideals, they are the heartbeat of our work, grounded in the belief that when staff feel supported and valued, students flourish and our community grows stronger. Yet tonight I must address a concern that weighs on our mission and spirit. Today, GEA is limited in ways that hinder our ability to serve effectively. We are unable to deliver welcome materials to new staff, distribute invitations or information about meetings or events during contract hours, engage in conversations with members and non-members alike, and host informal gatherings on campus without navigating a lengthy approval process first. These restrictions go beyond policy. They affect real human connections. A new staff member may feel unseen at the very moment when they need welcome the most. Conversations that spark collaboration, understanding, and camaraderie are stalled. Our capacity to build unity is diminished at precisely the time when warmth and welcome matter the most. Our mission asks something different. We're here to foster community, nurture belonging, uplift educators, and through them uplift our students. We wish to be bridges, not barriers. So tonight we humbly ask for your consideration of policies built on trust. Allow us the freedom to deliver welcome materials to new staff in a timely, heartfelt way, to share invitations and information directly so communication flows smoothly, to host informal gatherings on campus designed to bring us closer, all with simple coordination like a shared calendar or site representative that ensures smooth, respectful, and enriching interactions, no disruptions, no unnecessary delay, just community. This change will ensure staff who feel supported from day one, a culture of connection instead of distance, schools where educators know where they belong, where students feel the steady support that comes from that. This aligns with GEA's promise to improve working conditions, strengthen community ties, and ultimately serve Glendale's students. Our request is not a demand, it's a gesture of partnership. We believe in this district, in this board, and in our shared commitment to education. We trust that you too want our schools to flourish through collaboration, through respect, through shared community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Lastly, the board recognizes Amber Gould.
Good evening, Superintendent, Governing Board. My name is Amber Gould. I'm not here because I'm a staff member. I'm not here because I'm a parent. I'm here because I'm a member of the community. And I have recently heard some concerning things about some actions that have taken place that could be considered union busting. And I'm going to be honest, that is incredibly concerning to me as a community member, and it's concerning to the members of my union, many of which are here supporting GEA tonight. One of the things I heard was the removal of the GEA from some of the policies. This really shows an attempt to marginalize the voice of the employees of this district, and it shows that there's no longer a wish to collaborate when it comes to our union, when it comes to the voice of our employees. And I'm going to be honest, if it's because you're trying to save some money on ink, I'm sure we can fundraise from some toner. But we need to make sure that we're keeping GEA in these documents. I also heard some things like not being allowed to wear union shirts. That makes it so that the voice of our employees are not visible, that it's a deliberate attempt to make them be invisible and not heard. Union work on campus during the school day is not against the law. It's not against policy. Political action, yes. Wearing a union shirt, no. At the end of the day, there is a huge impact that happens to our kids when we don't recognize and we don't value the voice of employees, when we don't value the voice of union members. Statistics have shown that educators who are part of a union stay longer. They're able to have better retention. They have better working conditions, and we know that that impacts our students directly, and that impacts our community as a whole. Listen, we're not asking for a parade here. We're asking for GEA to be kept in the policy language, that we ask that you work with the union and make sure the voices of these members are heard. Though I'm going to be honest, GEA also deserves a parade, in my opinion. Thank you.
All right, thank you for everyone for showing up. That concludes our call to the public this evening.
President Martinez, may I ask for a point of privilege?
Yes, ma'am. The board recognizes Ms. Segata-Jones.
Good evening, Mr. Martinez, governing board members, audience, staff, families, community that are here. On Wednesday, August 13th, marked a landmark moment in the fight to ensure every Arizona student has access to safe, quality learning environments. The court's ruling in favor of GSD firms that we've long known to be true, as the court concluded, the current public school capital finance system does not meet the constitutional standards of the Arizona Supreme Court. I want to thank the governing board, each of you, Mr. Martinez, Ms. Bartels, Ms. Pimentel, Ms. Wilson, Mr. Jaramillo, for your unwavering support, your trust throughout this journey, your commitment to educational equity for all students, for all staff, has been instrumental in reaching this pivotal moment for the state of Arizona. This process began and journey began in 2014. Some of you were board members at that time. You passed a resolution to allow Glendale Elementary School District to enter as a plaintiff in this lawsuit. It has been a long journey. As new board members came on, Ms. Pimentel, Mr. Jaramillo, you embraced that. You've been advocates for that as well. Mr. Martinez, when you joined, same thing. It has been a long journey, and I thank you for your commitment and your trust in what you do every day for this community and this organization. Mr. Mike Berrigan, few truly understand the tireless hours you've invested, the scrutiny you've endured, and the integrity you've maintained, even when yours was attacked through this 8-year battle. Your leadership, your resolve, your deep commitment to justice for all students have been guiding light for this district and beyond, for every student in the state of Arizona. I commend you for your work. I am deeply honored to have you as a member of this executive team. I could not be more proud or more humbled to serve alongside as your superintendent. To our incredible GESD staff and community, please know we will continue to advocate on behalf of our students. We will continue with this journey so that it does not matter what the property wealth is, should not determine what type of building students are educated in or what teachers or staff members work in. This is a monumental decision. This case was won on all accounts. We will continue to fight. This afternoon, Mr. Berrigan and I did a Zoom meeting with the other plaintiffs as well as our attorneys. No doubt the state will probably appeal. In order for them to appeal, that's a process. Bureaucracy takes place, paperwork. That will probably end in October. Once that happens, then if it's appealed and goes to the appellate court, decisions will be made. It is a strong case. It's a 114-page document. Within that document, which we will share, Judge Fox quotes those statements made by those that testified. He spent an enormous amount of time to come to this decision. This is a huge win, not only for Glendale Elementary School District, but for every school district in this district, for every student in this district, and every educator in this district. I'm deeply honored to have as a member of this team, each of you, supporting students in our classrooms every single day. Please know that we all are all in for all kids every day. We will continue to do so. And again, to each of you that are a part of this organization, we value you, we respect you, and we will continue to do what's best for our community. They deserve that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Segata-Jones. Moving on in our agenda to the consent agenda items. Are there any comments or remarks from the board on consent agenda? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Moving on to reports and informational items. Ms. Segata-Jones, tell us a little bit about the opening of school.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, opening of school was great. Later we'll have a video during the superintendent's report, but it's great to always see the families come back and students come back. Let me give you a little bit of information that we're working on, and I just want to thank staff for their patience and also recognize those that are working extremely hard. As you know, the temperature has been just extremely high. And we've had HVAC units go down. Some go down at sites, more at sites than others, unfortunately, and in buildings across the district. I think there's one site that has escaped it, or two, and that's because those units were replaced last year. So we understand we've had to move teachers out of classrooms and kids out of classrooms, and we have cafeterias that aren't functioning, and everybody has been very positive and been real troopers about that. In between all that, we had a flood in the classroom. But everybody has kept a positive attitude. Please know, I want to thank the maintenance department. Joanna, where are you? You were here earlier. They have been working extremely hard. It's 114 outside. My guess, if it's 114 outside, it's about 134 on top of that roof. And they've been out there on those roofs and trying to maintain and get all that. We have staff that has come in at 5:30 in the morning to get rooms set up for teachers. Thank you for those of you that are doing that, and we're trying to rotate through that. Please know that we submit renewal grants. Joanna has been doing that daily to SFD, and hoping that, we will receive funding. Unfortunately, you can't keep students and staff in hot buildings. So we are looking at what we can do to replace those. We have several replacements happening on Monday. We have several units that are on assembly lines in San Antonio and across the country that we're trying to get here to get repaired. So thank you for your patience as we get through this, and we will continue to work as quickly as possible to resolve these issues. With that also, we won't know what student enrollment is until Monday. A reminder, that is the 10-day drop, so we need to make sure that attendance is accurate that day. Right now, we're down about 890 students. That is not good. So we need to continue to increase enrollment, But right now, if we had to guess, it's about 890. And remember that what our projected budget was for students as well, so we're not even near that. We will know more on Monday after the 10-day drop. It's critical that you go back and make sure that those drops take place and they're timely and efficient. Also, we do have a lot of new programs going on, and students are I've been in classrooms. I tried to get to all the new teachers. I've still got more to get to this week, but things look good. Students are learning, teachers are teaching. I couldn't ask for, a better first two weeks of school. So with that concludes my opening of school report.
Thank you for the update. Any questions or comments from the board? Losing AC can be pretty brutal, so I feel for everyone, and thank you for kind of putting up with the facilities as things kind of seem to fall apart around us. Moving on to item 5B, revised regulation for JR-R. Ms. Sagata-Jones.
Yes, this is the revision there. The governing board shall provide students with a transcript release form that allows students to designate separate checkboxes whether transcripts are released for post-secondary institutions. That's the major changes that's been added to that. It's really the permission to release personal information as required by statute or allowed by statute.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board? No. All right, moving on to the meat of our agenda, our action items. Starting off with action item 6A, the ASBA Delegate Assembly Representative and Alternate. That is where we choose among ourselves who will be the primary and the alternate delegate for the upcoming ASBA conference, I believe on the 10th? No, 6th? I don't know, real soon. Okay. Is there anyone on the board that would like to volunteer to be the primary? I will say that I'm going to be there anyway, so I have no problem being the primary. Okay, thanks. I do need we should have an alternate, though, in case I get really sick or win the lottery.
I'll be there.
Monica?
I'll be there too, yes.
Okay.
All right, so real quick, before anybody changes their mind, I'm going to say, I make a motion that Mike is our primary and Monica is our secondary for the Delegate Assembly.
Second. That was unusually quick, Mr. Jaramillo. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Thank you. Moving on to the political agenda direction. We did send off our political agenda priorities to ASBA earlier in the year. This is just delegating as to how either myself or Ms. Pimentel should vote during the agenda or during the delegate assembly. As it is with last time, we kind of went through this process with everybody. We know our priorities as a board. I firmly believe that we are all here for the right reasons. So there are some things that you just need to play by ear while you're down to delegate assembly. So I think we've along with the priorities we submitted to ASBA.
Is it too much for you to just quickly go through what some of those items are that would be pertinent to us? Because I think it's important that they know what we're voting on.
So I don't remember the ones we submitted.
Sorry. Well,
You're asking for the priorities we submitted?
Yeah, the
Is that
ones we
correct?
submitted.
But ideally,
Just
at
give
this
us a
time-
second, we'll get those.
Well, ideally, at this time, we just want to make sure if there's anything that is a red flag in the list that will be presented that day, if there's any that we have concerns and we want questions or objections to, we need to make sure that we give that direction to our
yeah, but I
representatives.
just thought it would be nice to, if you can.
Yes, it was in May. We're just pulling it up.
Sorry we put you on the spot, Liz. No pressure.
I just thought we could read it from here, just like highlight some of the ones that are already on here.
Yeah, like I've said before, this political agenda is really kind of all puppies and rainbows. Nobody's ever going to say no to puppies and rainbows. There isn't anything on here, even if it doesn't impact us, like some of the rural items or some of the CTED items. they're not items that we would really be against in any way.
I mean, like school safety and, just. Like strengthening local control.
Okay, so the board narrowed its sections down to the following. 7.2 was fully fund Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Fully fund full-day kindergarten and include kindergarten students in the override calculations. Index district additional assistance, DAA funding for inflation. Provide consistent, dedicated sources of base funding that equip all Arizona public schools with adequate support to address the academic, social, and emotional needs of students, including, and it lists everything that it includes. And then we had reform English language learner models of instruction to increase integration of ELL and give schools flexibility and resources to administer them. And then you wanted to combine some items, and then we finally came to an agreement of which one of those that you did.
Second. Okay.
No worries.
So with that being said, is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the political agenda direction.
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Moving on to action item 6C, review and second reading of revised policy manual section C. Ms. Sagata Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, the sections on here refer to the superintendent's qualifications and duties, and then we talk about staff relations and handbooks and those. These is the second read. Are there questions on any of those?
Any further questions or comments from the board? Is there a motion to approve the second reading of manual section C?
I move to approve the second reading of, I move to approve the second reading of policy manual section C.
Second.
Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Moving on to 6D, review and second reading of revised policy manual section D, fiscal management. Ms. Sagata Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, this covers, as you know, anything with the fiscal management goals, the budgeting, accounting systems, purchasing, vendors, payment and payroll, salary deductions, those type of items. Are there any questions you have on the second read of those?
Any questions from the board?
I'll move to approve the second reading of policy manual section D.
Second.
Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Moving on to item 6E, policy revision second reading for policy JLF. Ms. Sagata Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, this is a second read where we're required to do the reporting of child abuse and child protection.
Any questions from the board? Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve the second reading of policy JLF.
Second.
Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Moving on to action item 6F, policy revision first reading, 5 assorted policies. Ms. Sagata Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, the first one is EV safety program and environmental safety program. With that, this is new that school resource officers have to be trained. And, well, and this one, we actually have to conduct safety assessments every 5 years as well. So that's what that one is asking us to do. What you can look at is the safety assessment piece. Each school district and order and charter school that receives monies
for an approved school safety program shall develop emergency response plans. We do have emergency response plan, and then we also are required to report that with ADE. And they will provide templates in that we use.
Any questions from the board?
I have a question. Did we have something similar to this, the dispensal of medicines recently?
The EpiPen was changed.
That's it. Thank you. No further questions from me.
That is there a motion to approve the policy first reading?
Do we want to just go through all of them and do one?
One action item, yeah. Mm-hmm. So the next one we're on, I lost where we were, JLC?
GCQ.
Oh, GCQF, yep. Discipline, suspension, dismissal of professional staff members. These are following statute. They were minor changes to those with dates. It's just saying that the highest ranking official of a school or school district has what they may request from the State Board of Education relating to allegations that a certificate or non-certificate person engaged in conduct that, if true, constitute grounds of disciplinary action. If the certificated or non-certificated person resigned or otherwise separated from employment with the school before the State Board of Education either investigates the allegations or determines whether to take disciplinary action against the person.
And JLC?
Right, JLC, Student Health Services and Requirements. This is new, where it is requiring, on request by a student's parent or guardian, that each school district shall provide health care credentials of each individual person who provides routine health care to students in the school's health office. As you know, the change went from nurse's office because we don't necessarily across the state have nurses. It's the health office, and then we work with legal on that we don't give them any identifiable information, but we give them the information they request through the credentials.
Okay, for JLCD.
Okay, so JLCD with the medicines, and that's where they talk about the EpiPen. That's been highlighted in there for you.
And then finally, JR, student records.
And this just goes back to what you can do with director information relating to students and the rights of parents.
That's the easy thing about looking at policy, is that almost everything is coming from some sort of federal or state legislative change. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room there. Any questions regarding the first readings? All right, is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve the first readings of policies EB, GCQF, JLC, JLCD, and policy JR as presented.
Second.
All right, Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Can I explain my vote?
Okay.
President. I'm going to vote nay just because I am displeased with the way the state has prioritized SROs over therapy and school counselors. I believe our state resources can be better spent in preventative measures rather than reactionary measures, so that way we can prevent tragedies rather than reacting to them. So I vote nay.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Moving on to item 6G, facility use fee schedule and agreement. Ms. Segata-Jones?
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board. ARS 151105E requires the governing board to annually approve a fee schedule for the lease of school property. The fee schedule shall include a designation of the persons, groups, and organizations who shall have uncompensated use of the school property, and procedures for determination of the value of the goods, services being provided, and compensation for the use of school property. The governing board, the superintendent, or the chief administrative officer shall require proof of liability insurance for such use of lease of school property. Questions you may have?
I have a question.
We'll get right out with it then.
So this item G with the new facility use fee schedule and agreement with the language in the strikeout of Glendale Education Association, would that classify them as a Class 3 organization and we'd have to charge them fees? And
Yes. Board Member Jaramillo, yes, and we will let Mr. Berrigan will be happy to explain the process and why the facility agreement was changed. Mr. Berrigan.
Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Sagai Jones, I think I'm happy to answer a lot of the questions that the board has on this topic. Let me just kind of give some background. I think every year this item comes before the board. As we were reviewing just through natural everyday agreements last year, the Class 1 did catch my attention. And I noticed that the Glendale Education Association was on there as a Class 1. And so they did rent specific sites. And I didn't believe at the time that conformed with statutory requirements. But because the board had approved of it for many, many years and has kept it that way, we honored that. And so I made a note to myself that this year, as we were going through those revisions, we needed to make sure that, one, we were updating the pricing, or looking at it at least, and then also ensuring that it complied with statutory requirements. And part of that, as many of you know, requires or includes the collaboration of our legal counsel. So it's something that I worked with our legal counsel from Gus Rosenfeld to ensure that the classifications reflected statutory requirements. The question about, in this case, GEA and what category would they fall really depends on the event that they're having. And so perhaps the easiest example that came to my mind is if there were, as an example, if there was a board election and the association wanted to conduct a forum for those potential candidates on our district property, do believe in good faith that would align with the statutory requirements, where then you could reclassify them as perhaps a Class 1. So it really is going to go back on what is happening and what kind of business is being done. And not just with them, but frankly any organization, to ensure that it falls within the appropriate category. Perhaps the bigger issue is the risk that the district might have leaving not just them, but anyone who doesn't fall in those specific categories as kind of a blanket free-for-all. You risk potentially a gift of public funds issue. And between that and ensuring that we're mitigating risk with any allegations of gift of public funds, it was revised to the version that you have before you.
And the gift of public funds, that's only applies if there's no education function of an organization, correct?
Mr. President, members of the board, Board Member Jaramillo, I don't believe that it's specific to that. I think that could be in different forms. So I don't know that it's specific just to that. But I can tell you, and I know that our attorney has communicated, that this, in its current form, is in alignment with statutory requirements.
I did a little bit of research there, and I wrote some things down. Laws 15-504, 15-1105, and 15-511, none of these explicitly prohibit uncompensated use of facilities by our teachers association. I think 1504 is more about political activity during work hours. 15-511 is about elections, and 15-1105 actually gives board discretion to allow uncompensated use if the activity promotes an educational function. And I think that's exactly what GA does when they provide professional support and advocacy for student learning conditions. The law does not require us to strip them of Class 1. That's a local choice. And as I'm looking through these papers that we all received here, I feel that their goals do align with promoting our education and our student outcomes. The first goal is maintain supports, program staffing, and enrichment for GSD students. That is a public benefit, and it is part of our that education function. And then I think the rest advocate for a stronger staff, especially when they have collaboration, professional development. All of these improve student outcomes, and I think it aligns us well with our meet and confer, where we established that they have specialized qualifications and their recommendations for policy development are important to the academic success of students. And down here, we recognize them as the recognized representative for non-administrative certified and non-administrative classified staff. And we also allow them the power to select a team comprised of 5 association members. If we remove this facility from them and require them to pay money and have insurance, it makes that function that much harder for them to do. And I think we should keep them as a Class 1 organization, so that way we can support our staff and in turn support our students as well.
Mr. President, members of the board, Board Member Jaramillo, I appreciate the perspective. The recommendation before you is a recommendation that was made by legal counsel. And so with all due respect, the advice and the recommendation from this administration to you is in alignment with the statutory requirements. While I understand that maybe some don't agree with that interpretation of the statute, my recommendation before you is in collaboration with legal counsel to mitigate any risk to you when you've been made aware of an issue that is not in alignment with statute. So with all due respect, I appreciate the perspective. My recommendation would be in alignment or in collaboration with the recommendation from legal counsel.
Okay, so I have a couple of comments here, first of all. I do truly believe that specifically naming the Glendale Education Association in any policy is just bad practice. It does specifically say in here parent-teacher organizations, but yet you don't spell out the Horizon PTA, you don't spell out the Discovery PTA, you don't spell out Challenger. Why is this one specific organization picked out amongst others when they clearly fall under the blanket of educational associations within the Glendale Elementary School District? It is redundant at that point, and I think it places extra, I don't know which word I'm looking for, but it puts them out there as a go-to source when you could have other staff or student organizations that clearly fall under this particular policy. I don't think we should be naming any particular organization in there. That doesn't say, in looking at the legal information that our legal counsel submitted to us, that doesn't mean that activities by GEA would all fall under Class 3. They might fall under Class 1. It really is going to be dependent upon the activity itself, not necessarily the organization name, which I think is, from a perspective of our point of view in checking, making sure that we are not liable as a board and we are not liable as a district, that we're following that legal counsel, and that it still gives GEA the opportunity to have these Class 1 type events within school facilities, but also opens up the fact that it may be a Class 3 type event depending on exactly what it is that they're trying to do. Does that sound correct to you?
Yeah, Mr. President, members of the board, that's correct. I think that's actually very well stated. I just do want to add, in the past we've had other organizations as well. And so, back to that initial point, you don't necessarily want to exclude anyone. But the other point, Board Member Jaramillo, that you made was on the insurance. The way that we understand is that the law doesn't allow you to overlook that insurance requirement as well. Statutorily, you're required to provide, or they're required to provide, we're supposed to ensure that an entity or an individual provides liability insurance to protect you as a board and the district as a whole. So I just do want to make sure that we all understand that, at least the way that I understand it and have understood it, is that we're not allowed to overlook that insurance requirement either. That also has to be part of the agreement. So I don't want to leave here without addressing that.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think it is up to our discretion to who is uncompensated and who we keep as a Class 1 as well, and I think GEA does still fall under that. And I'm happy to move forward with a motion to, I'd like to make a motion to amend the facility use agreement to add the following sentence to the class and definition pursuant to ARS 15-1105. Employee organizations representing district staff, including the Glendale Education Association, shall be, I can't read what I wrote, shall be deemed to promote the education function of the district when their activities support staff development, collaboration, or advocacy for student learning conditions, and shall be therefore eligible for uncompensated use of district facilities. And I believe that does fall in line with the law.
I don't necessarily agree totally with that, but I would like to see some other kind of language in there. So I would like to ask that you come back to us with something in there that states that the association, or really anybody, can switch into a different classification depending on what their use is of the facility at that time.
Mr. President, members of the board, I believe the language allows us to make those on a case-by-case determination.
Yeah, again, just like to remind the board that it was legal counsel that we paid for that made this recommendation to align with state law and statute, specifically 15-1105. And I believe it is our responsibility as elected board members and as political subdivision of the state, that we do have to follow the law.
No, yeah.
That it should be in there. And saying it's not a who, it's a what. It's not that it's GEA. It's what event is going on there. And you start talking about things like you talk about other items like insurance. When I was on the PTA, we had to buy an insurance certificate to hold any events at a school site. Mm-hmm. If you are putting on a birthday party at a park down the street, you have to make sure that whoever's supplying your Brinca has an insurance certificate on file with the city. Mm-hmm. That is not an unusual requirement. And if that appears to be a burden, I apologize for that, but that is a burden that you as an organization has to bear, and that is not the district's responsibility to do so for you.
Mr. President, members of the board, and I think Mr. Martinez really pointed out, it's not about the who, it's about the what. Right. And I think really that should be the focus, at least from our perspective, of the conversation. So depending on the event and the purpose of that specific event would determine whether it's a Class 1, Class 2, or Class 3, or whatever the appropriate classification is. It's based on what is occurring in that type of rental or agreement. It's not the who, it's really the what.
And not disagreeing with that, but I did make a motion. I made it as tight and legal as possible so that we do not run afoul of ARS 15-1105. We do have the local power and control to give discretion of Class 1 status to any group we deem has an education function. And I can make the motion again if
Before you do that, I'd like to hear how you address that, because the recommendation is to not have the specific reference to Glendale Education Association, and I'm not sure if Mr. Jaramillo, if your recommendation stated other as like the local education association.
It does, but I'll make the motion again.
Mr. Jaramillo, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm having a hard time hearing. Can you just, I don't know if is it me? It's kind of mumbled down here. I'll listen carefully. I'm sorry.
Okay. I move to amend the facility use agreement to add the following sentence to the class and definition pursuant to ARS 15-1105. Employee organizations representing district staff, including Glendale Education Association, which I realize is the only one, shall be deemed to promote the education function of the district when their activities support staff development, collaboration, or advocacy for student learning conditions, and shall be therefore eligible for uncompensated use of district facilities.
So there is a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
At this time, I would like to look at how we can, so you specifically name GEA. Am I correct in there?
And that is correct. I can give my reasoning.
And the recommendation is to not have the specific reference to GEA.
Correct.
Would you be open to amending that to the local education association or the representative education association?
I don't see the difference.
If the recommendation legally is to not have Glendale Education Association, but we can still put the local or the representative education association.
My only problem with that is that in the same policy, we name PTA and student booster clubs. So we are naming organizations. So I'd like to keep GEA included in those list of organizations.
So that is not correct. We name a type of an organization, PTA, a PTO, a booster club.
So we can
Educational organization is a type of
Organization.
It would bring it closer into the language that is currently there.
If it keeps the function of what I intend intact, then yes, I am open to an amendment.
So we do still have the motion on the floor. Is there a second for the motion as previously stated?
I would like to amend. Can I do that at this time? Amend the motion.
Yeah. If there's no second on the motion, we will continue on, and if you would like to make another motion, you could do that. So if you want to change the wording, you have to let the current motion die.
Okay.
Since there's no second, that motion dies. Fails, sorry. Any other discussions?
Yes, I would like to discuss changing the language instead of specific to Glendale Education Association to either the local education association or the local representative education association.
So if I said, give me a second here. If I said a school-related group whose activities promote educational function of the school district, as it says in Arizona Revised Statute 151105, which we are already going by in this policy, it already meets all the requirements that you're asking for. It's just not putting a specific name in there.
I would prefer the specific name, just to keep it in writing.
Can I ask a question? To the point of the specific name issue being that class 1, if an organization does activities that would qualify as, say, class 3, or would that get us? We would be liable for that, wouldn't we?
Mr. President, members of the board, I do believe that the district would be liable.
Okay.
I do believe GEA is capable of distinguishing Class 1 activities and Class 3 activities, and I trust, just as I trust in our executive team and in everyone else, that they will make the right decisions and do what is in the best interest, both legally and morally, for our district.
So we're still at the discussion, right? Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So putting that aside for just a moment, because I think we can wordsmith this and find something. If we are able to find a place and move forward, the facility under Class 1 and under Class 2, there's a statement stating facility users may be exempt from paying the hourly rate and substantial direct expenses such as custodial cleaning, opening and closing of facilities, security, etc., if the event is held during normal hours of operation during the school, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. If we are able to keep the Education Association Class 1, will it become necessary to define what the activities are and still exempt them from paying an hourly rate, or come to a consensus where it's, I'm just going to throw a number out there, $1 an hour?
Big gifts of public funds, wouldn't it?
Mr. President, members of the board,
But not fair rate.
as a school district, you can't just subsidize anyone. And it's not really about the who, it's really about the what. And I do believe, with all due respect, that we're losing sight of the what. It's not the who, it's the what. As an organization, as a public entity, there's a responsibility to not subsidize programs or expenses. Part of the reason, let's get away from what classification. Let's merely talk about the cost. One of the things that we built in that was flexibility. We have a difficult time hiring staff. If we have an event and we actually, let's say they followed the rental agreement, but we're short-staffed and we have to bring someone to work overtime from maybe another site to clean up, it's an expense that we should not be incurring because someone's renting it. So it's not about the who, it's really about the what. And so I would caution the board, at the end of the day, it is your responsibility, and you would own it with all due respect. You've been given guidance from legal counsel on how to do this in a manner that provides you flexibility with GEA or another organization that meets the goals or the mission of the district. I do believe that you're putting yourself in a box. This provides flexibility so when it is appropriate that they are a Class 1, if they're not, and they fall into any other category, but also, as a school district, you should not be subsidizing any other programs. And so, Mr. President, members of the board, I ask that you consider that perspective as well.
I do agree that we have been struggling to hire teachers, and I don't think GEA is just anybody. As we heard before, associations like theirs maintain staffing, improve professional development, and I think it's a partnership that we benefit from, which I'm happy to continue and fostering.
Again, I'd like to remind the board that you have a responsibility, and it is not to any GEA or PTA or anyone else in this room unless they live in the Glendale Elementary School District. That is our sole responsibility. We cannot have ourselves beholden to any sort of organization besides that. That is absolutely why we're here.
I agree.
And so we have to make decisions in the best interest of maintaining the sustainability of this school district. And that continues to be following sound and prudent legal advice that says, the law says you should do this. That's what we should do. And that is what we have historically done. That is why we've, in my mind, that's why we've operated so well as a district. It's like, no matter how hard a choice is, there are certain things that we are obligated to do and we are legally bound to do, because that is why we are put here. So when I say we continue on with the fee schedule as it's written, to make sure that the district is protected, to make sure that the organizations are protected, because that protection goes both ways. Because if something happens to an AEA or a GEA member while they're using some of our facilities, and it is a Class 3 type of thing, and they don't have an insurance certificate, or any number of things that can happen, that puts them at risk, and that puts us at risk.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the facility use agreement to add the following sentence to the class and definition pursuant to ARS 15-1105. Employee organizations representing the district, staff, including any education association, shall be deemed to promote the education function of the district when their activities support staff development, collaboration, or advocacy for student learning conditions and shall be therefore eligible for uncompensated use of district facilities. I've made the motion.
Is there a second for that? There's a motion.
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Nay.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
And for the protection of all organizations moving forward, I vote nay.
And the chair also votes nay. Moving on, is there a motion, since we're kind of dragging and spinning our wheels here, I motion to approve the facility use agreement as presented in item 6G.
I move to approve the facilities.
You're a
use-
second at this point.
Oh, you
I
just-
motioned.
Oh, you motioned, then I'll second.
Okay. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Nay.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Nay.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries. Moving on to action item 6H, employment of coordinator for school district communications. Ms. Sagata Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, it's recommended the governing board approve the appointment of Mr. Carlos Rene Castro as a coordinator for school district communications, salary, and benefits commensurate with our other coordinators as presented. Mr. Castro is in the audience.
Mr. Castro. Oh. Sir, please rise. Any questions or comments from the board?
I was suspecting he was the person. But I'd like to move to approve the employment of Mr. Carlos Rene Castro as coordinator for school district communications.
Second.
Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Congratulations, sir. Welcome to the team. As is tradition, there is a mop and broom out in the hallway. You'll be expected to clean the boardroom after we're all done today. Moving on to item 7, future meetings and agenda. Future meeting and agenda events. Ms. Sagata Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, August 28th, at this time, we feel there is not a need for a meeting. We don't have items at that time. So we would move to the September 11th meeting. On that day, we would like to have an executive session. We need to give you an update on the school's facility division and the repurposing, or not repurposing, but those schools that have outlived their useful life. And we'd like to, and replacement schools. So we'd like to bring legal counsel back to give you an update on that.
All right. Any comments?
Yeah, I won't be here for that. I will most notably be out of the country.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'd like to add something to that, if we could, in light of some information that we've received on air conditioners and other information that's been in the papers recently. I'd like to have some kind of a discussion, study session on what it would look like to push the opening of school back to September. What would the pros and the cons, and just, have a good, healthy discussion on what that would look like. I did read an article that stated that children they don't learn as well in the heat, and I think we all know that. And teachers probably don't function as well either, neither do we about that. But there's also a stress on the grid, the state grid. So I think it would be nice to have a healthy discussion.
I think that's worth a discussion.
We could schedule a study session to have that. We can do that before a board meeting if you would like, or we could do it at another time, but we could do a study session prior to the board meeting on September 11th, or if you want to move that to the October meeting.
Let's do it at a time that we know we're all going to be here, since Ms. Bartels is going to flee the country.
Would you like to be?
So we could do it. We could schedule for the October 2nd special. Would have to be the the October 2nd meeting. We could do that.
How does October 2nd look for you guys?
Good for me.
I ask. October 2?
October 2nd?
Yes.
October 2nd.
Liz will be back then, correct?
Liz will be back as well.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. All right, moving on to, if there's nothing else, moving on to the summary of current events. Ms. Sagata Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, my report will be in a video format this evening.
This must be the coolest job. Not only do we learn to code, what else do we do in here?
We have our 3D printing stations. We do the morning news. We have such a variety that we like to bring in. We do photography and videography. It really is bring your passion and find your purpose in this job. It's great.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Adriana, for putting that together. That's what's been happening the last couple of weeks, and we were as current as today with that video. Yes, Mr. Martinez, we just have esports up and running, and we would like for you to visit Challenger. Mr. Hortzman would love to show you that. We were able to get in there. I believe that footage took place yesterday. Were we there yesterday? And it's just something to see the kids interact and do. Also, we'd like to get you out to Burton. That was incredible what they did as well. And then we can schedule some of those visits again so you can see the cool things that are happening across GSD. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Sagata Jones. Moving on to the governing board report. We'll start down at the end. Mr. Jaramillo.
I'll keep mine short, but that historic win with our capital lawsuit, I've been getting text messages from other school leaders, and it's huge. So I'm really excited, especially with today's current negative climate surrounding education. This to me was just a relief, and let's continue to win if they get the appeal. I'm going to use nicer language.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson.
Well, I'd just like to say I'm incredibly proud of this district for all that we've accomplished, that you have accomplished, especially with the lawsuit. I want to thank you for everything that you've done as a team, and you worked hard. We were kept updated on all the grueling testimony that you've had to give, hours, and I'm sure it wasn't fun. So, but thank you. The outcome was great. Congratulations to all of you that were awarded with the best of the best and the second of the best and everything. You're great. And also the opening of school. My grandkids were so thrilled, and they just, the first day of school is just so exciting, and you have made it just extra special for them and for all our kids. So thanks to all the staff for everything that you've done. And the campuses look great. I did have a chance to drive by a few of them, and they do look very, very nice. So just, stay cool, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, I know, I hope.
All right, thank you. Ms. Pimentel.
Welcome back to school, everyone, and that goes from the 5-year-olds or even the 3-year-olds in preschool on up to everybody who's here making a difference in the life of our kids in our community. It's always exciting. I haven't had a kid go back to school in many, many years, but I'd like to count all of your kids as mine because that's who we're here for. The Capitol lawsuit news was just amazing, and I literally felt like 1,000 pounds were lifted off of me, and I had tears in my eyes, and I was getting a lot of calls and texts. You guys did it, and this guy here didn't do it. We had great representation with Ms. Sagata-Jones and Mr. Badagan and our partners, and there's probably going to be an appeal, but hey, as Superintendent Sagata-Jones likes to say, stay the course. And so we're ready to do that and make sure that we can continue serving our community.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bartels.
Yay, we're all back in session with the kids. I think that's the best part because we know every day that they're learning, and it's thanks to you guys. When Ms. Sagata-Jones spoke to the duration of this process with regards to the litigation, it blew me away to remember that it was 2014 that Ms. Wilson and I, along with the board at the time, had to make that resolution, and it was like 3 years later to get it into the court system, and then all this time waiting for it. And I know they're still going to fight it, but
we'll win.
Today, we have confirmation in everything that we've presented that what is right is what is right. And, our kids deserve so much better, not only in this district, but throughout the state of Arizona. So, thank you so much for everybody that was involved with that from start to finish, and there's so many people. My little PSA will be to please, please, please pay attention when you're out driving around. It's not just the hours during the school day, but those hours before and after for any of the clubs that kids are in, whether they're our kindergartners or they're our high school students, because they're all our kids. So, thank you.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations to everybody in the district. Best of Glendale for 6 times in a row. Hold on to these so you can use them in another 3 years when we win it yet again.
We'll do it right. Oh, yeah, that one. We want the 9th one.
So keep a hold of those. Thank you very much. Congratulations to our mascots, our teachers, our school sites. You guys did an amazing job. We are so very proud of everything you've done. Thank you to Ms. Sagata-Jones, Mr. Berrigan, for championing the school facilities lawsuit. That has been, we've won every single step of the way. Every single step of the way. Yes, the state will appeal. Absolutely. But we are 100% going to win yet again. And as we've had discussions before, we're not even doing this for the kids that we have right now. We're doing this because we know it's going to affect the kids we have 5 years from now, and the kids we have 10 years from now, or however long this lawsuit continues to run on, or until we get nice, shiny schools with doors that aren't falling off and HVAC units that aren't falling through the roof. Because I swear to God, if all 5 of us have to go to get HVAC certified next year, we will freaking do it, because I am tired of hearing about AC units breaking all the time. It is an enormous strain on us, not just financially, but having to know that you have kids in these rooms that are sweating it out and they're trying to be a trooper. And I appreciate you, and I apologize that we don't have those best facilities, but this is a long-term project, and we are going to continue to champion things that are good for the school district. So thank you all very much. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
All those in favor?
What about
second? All those in favor?
Aye. Board members,